tensions have flared between South Korea and Japan again. This time, Japan's failure to keep its promise became a source of trouble. Japan has not fulfilled its pledge to commemorate Korean victims of wartime forced labor in a new facility celebrating its Industrial Revolution. The latest flare-up of tensions came as Seoul and Tokyo have already been mired in a protected row of trade and wartime history. This week, North Korea now will look into what promises Japan didn't keep exactly in the notorious Hashima Island, also known as the Battleship Island, where many Koreans were forced into labor during Japan's colonial rule. 23 sites of Japan's major industrial revolution were designated as UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 2015. Upon the designation, the World Heritage Committee called for Japan to prepare an interpretive strategy that allows an understanding of the full history of each site. Tokyo then agreed to take such steps as remembering the victims by establishing an information center. Tokyo said it would establish the center to remember the victims based on its recognition of Koreans and others who were brought against their will and forced to work under harsh conditions in the 1940s at some of the sites. The 23 UNESCO sites include those on the Hashima Island, which is a symbol of the rapid industrialization of Japan, as well as a reminder of its history as a site of forced labor prior to and during the World War II. The island's nickname, Battleship Island, came from its resemblance to the Japanese battleship Tosa. As depicted in a film of the same title released in 2018, the island is a typical place where Korean victims of forced labor during the Japanese colonial rule had to endure the harsh life. During the Japanese colonial period, 33,400 Koreans were sent to work at Japanese steel mills, shipyards, and coal mines. On Hashima Island alone between 1943 and 1945, about 800 Koreans are believed to have been forced into labor, 134 apparently dying there during the period. South Korea opposed the UNESCO designation for those reasons. But the Industrial Heritage Information Center, which opened on Monday, only features exhibits celebrating major eras in industrial accomplishment. It plays video clips with testimonials from people who've worked at Japanese factories, including even claims there was no forced labor or discrimination against Korean people. Therefore, South Korea called in Japan's top envoy in Seoul and voiced deep regrets after Tokyo failed to honor wartime forced labor victims at the information center. Second Vice Foreign Minister Lee Tae-ho called in Japanese Ambassador Koji Tomita hours after the Industrial Heritage Information Center in Tokyo opened to the public. At the entrance to the information center, only a statement by Kunisato, Japanese ambassador to UNESCO, was on display, in which he offered to take appropriate steps to honor victims of forced labor, and that was it. Japan claims it fulfilled its promise with UNESCO through the statement, without displaying the related content. In response, the South Korean government has decided to formally raise the issue to UNESCO while making the following statement. What are your thoughts on this? Please let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching North Korea Now.